Hey everybody, this is your girl Debra CoCo from Just Gimme the Mic, and thank you for tuning into our show. We have a great show lined up for you each and every week, and we hope that you tune in. You can catch us every Sunday night at 10 p.m. on channel 68 on BronxNet, and MNN2 in Manhattan at 8 p.m. on Sunday nights. And make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed the show. Now sit back, relax, and again, my name is Debra CoCo, and welcome to Just Give Me the Mic. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the Just Give Me the Mic show. And again, I am your host, Debra CoCo. I'm so excited about this show tonight because it is so close to my heart. If you know anything about Just Give Me the Mic, I have spent many years on a hip hop scene in New York, going to different events, meeting a lot of different artists, doing some great interviews, and bringing you some great events live right here on the show. But today, I'm happy to talk to someone who definitely was an inspiration to me and many others in the media business. And I've learned so much from my guest, Ralph McDaniels. I'm excited to finally get a chance to sit down and chop it up with him and to talk about the new upcoming film that's out on Showtime right now. I mean, that movie was so great. So without further ado, I would like to bring in my guest, Ralph McDaniels.
Thank you so much.
That show that I saw, the premiere of your movie, I mean, it was so profound to me because, to know you personally and then to find out all these little intricate details. Right, about your life and your journey of how everything started, because it was like boom. I remember just being younger and boom, I was running home watching Video Music Box. So to find out what actually led you there to create the show, it was just amazing.
Yeah, it was a lot to put that all into 90 minutes.
Right.
So like 4 decades just about. And so when we first started talking about a Video Music Box documentary, I wanted to do something that was different, that was not your typical hip hop documentary. Because I mean, I'm known for hip hop, but I love all genres of music, and so I wanted to let people know that part of it as well, and just be able to give them a different perspective on, on hip hop. Like some things that you might not know about people that you've never heard before. So, and then there were a lot of people that never even saw a Video Music Box. They might have heard of Video Music Box, in France and in London and Germany. All these places are now, this is the first time they're seeing a little glimpse of it. So it's like a friend of mine said, we have Video Music Box to ourselves all the time, but we just lent it to the rest of the world when we did the Showtime doc.
That is so true. That is very true. I mean, because we all know about it, but I'm glad now, like on an international level, they got to see the actual visual and they got to understand who the man was behind the mic and the journey that it took to get him to create this show. Now, I know you've had many offers in the past to do different documentaries and things like that, but I think, was this situation more attractive to you because you co-produced it, right? You had something to do with actually putting it together along with Mass Appeal, right? And Nas.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, folks have come to me and say, "Oh, Ralph, we want to do your documentary," and it's hard. First of all, just to emotionally let all of these things go, out to someone, and then from a business perspective, I've always been independent. Video Music Box has always been a family business. We run our own thing. We do everything internally. We're not funded by any big corporations. We're still independent. We license around the world. People know us in different parts of the country and in different parts of the world, but they don't know how the business is set up.
Right.
And so we're not like, people, oh, you should do this. And I'm like, they're funded by big corporations. I can't do that. So getting to the point where we could do something in conjunction with Mass Appeal, and big up to Sasha Jenkins, who's the head of production at Mass Appeal. because originally I was doing with him separately, and then he connected back with Mass Appeal, which is where he started at, and then Nas is a partner, part owner of Mass Appeal,
Oh,
and so
okay.
so that's how the whole thing came together.
So from what I read earlier today, like you actually produced Nas's first video, It Ain't Hard to Tell.
Yeah. So when Nas first came out, so it was like a 360 moment for me and Nas with this
Right.
project. And so when Nas first came out, um, I did this thing called an EPK, which is basically like electronic press kit. So
Hmm.
it's like a video press kit. You know, you're talking, there's a voiceover. We showed shots of Nas in his projects, with his brother, with his mom, with all these kids he grew up with all the producers on the first album. And that caused such a buzz for Nas before his album dropped
Oh,
that
wow.
they came to me and said, Ralph, can you do his first video? Because we need to get this song out like right away and the video out right away. And so I did It Ain't Hard to Tell. And that was it. You know, the rest is history with him.
Oh my goodness. And from the documentary, like, we all know you from the show, but I don't know how many people realize how many music videos and how many different artists that you actually did some of their first videos coming into the game. I didn't even realize how many artists you did the videos for.
Yeah. Well, once, I started Video Music Box, it's in the documentary, and I brought my friend, longtime friend, DJ partner, Lionel Martin into, Video Music Box. And then he said, look, let's start making videos. And I was like, how do we do that?
Right.
And so, because back then videos were shot in film.
Right.
And so a lot more complex than the way it is now. And so we got some guys that we knew that worked with film. We worked with them. They put it together, and then we just started doing stuff. So the first hip hop video we ever did was Roxanne Shante, Roxanne's Revenge,
Wow. Oh
and
yeah, that was in the documentary, right?
yeah, which another Queensbridge artist who I then end up working on her film Roxanne. So I have a relationship, not by choice, it just happened, with Queensbridge, a tight
Right.
relationship with Queensbridge.
And
And
also Staten Island with the Wu-Tang Clan too,
yeah,
right?
yeah, we did. I did Cream for Wu-Tang. I did Ice Cream for Raekwon,
Wow.
a bunch of stuff for Raekwon and Ghost. And so, and then our relationship of getting them out before nobody knew where they were, before they had a record deal. I was playing their first video, Protect Your Neck, on my
Right.
show. And then people were like, who is the Wu-Tang Clan? What is this? And,
All these guys,
right,
in these videos, there's a bunch of them, right?
yeah. And so that was the first time the world saw the Wu-Tang Clan was on Video Music Box. And
Wow.
so that relationship became great. And then RZA said, Ralph, I want you to do, I think that was their second single, Cream. And that's on YouTube, the most viewed music video that they have is Cream. I mean, like hundreds of millions of views on that particular clip. So, that's just some of the hip hop stuff. But Lionel directed like all of the Belle Biv DeVoe videos,
Wow.
all of the Boys to Men, the first two albums, the Boys to Men videos, the Guy, Keith Sweat, all of that 80s kind of
All
90s.
the popular
Yeah,
artists that was out at that time. Oh my
yeah.
goodness.
TLC. We did so many videos for so many artists that we would like to go SWV,
Oh
like that
wow.
whole look, that we worked with them. Like I met SWV's manager walking down the block in Brooklyn, and she said, Ralph McDaniels, you're from the video show. And I was like, yes. And she was like, I have a group and they're called Sisters with Voices. Now, she just happened to be coming out of a church when I
Look
saw
at
her.
that.
So
Look
I
at
thought it
that.
was a gospel group.
Mm-hmm.
She said Sisters with Voices. So I was like, all right, I'm like, we had, I don't even think we had done any gospel or anything at that time. So, I didn't know what that meant. She was like,
Right.
Sisters with Voices. She said, I'm going to send you the music. I said, here's my information and blah, 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 blah. And then a couple of weeks later, Lionel's playing this music. And I'm like, what is that? And he's like, it's this group called SWV.
Wait a minute.
Sisters with Voices. And I'm like, oh, I met the manager. And he said, yeah. And he said, they want us to do the video. and it's an R&B record, you know, and I'm like, oh wow, I
Oh,
thought they
it's
were
not gospel.
right. I thought they were a gospel group. So
No,
yeah,
that.
a lot of history, a lot of history.
So how like okay, how do you go from going to the parties hosted? Because I love the story about how you was like, you seen DJs making money and you saw opportunities as far as going into the club, bringing the mic, hosting, and that becoming like a full-time thing for you, right? So how did you balance that life? Hitting all the clubs, being on the scene, capturing all the videos and the visuals for your show, and then making time to like customize, because these are totally different artists. They had totally different looks,
Hmm.
totally different feels.
Yeah.
Like that vision, like where did that vision and that source come from? Because now that you mentioned all the artists, I'm thinking about how different they are as singers and as rappers. Like, how did you balance all of that and come up with the creativity of these different visions for these videos?
I think Lionel was like way more creative than me when it came to the music videos. And
Mm-hmm.
like when we were kids, Lionel used to collect comic books, and he had all of the comic books. Like you
Okay.
couldn't touch his comic books. Like they'd be in
Hands
plastic.
off, hands
Right.
off,
He
right?
was he was serious about his comic books, and I think that that's where a lot of his creativity came from.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard other people say that as well. I heard DMC say that to me one time. That if you listen to his rhymes, it sounds like how they talk in comic books.
Oh, okay.
And the incredible, the most impactful,
Magnificent.
magnificent.
Right, right.
That's how he rhymes.
Okay, right. 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 When you think about it, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So that's where he got his rhythm and his style from the words that he took out of comic books. And
Oh,
so I think that Lionel had the same experience with the visuals. Like he could just picture something just from the words or from the lyrics, and he could picture it, and he could, figure out a story out of it. And he was amazing. And we would have a
really?
conversation about it and be like, all right, sounds good to me. And that was it. And we would get out and start doing these videos. And then the club thing was more like me. That was me. I was doing Video Music Box on a
Okay.
daily basis. So this is when Video Music Box is on every day, 3:30 to 4:30.
Right.
And so I'm at the station all the time, and managing, Tuffy and Crazy Sam
Crazy
and
Sam. Yes, it was so good to see him in the documentary.
yes,
Yeah.
and all of these different personalities, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so you got, everybody wants to be this and everybody wants to do that. And everybody's got an idea and everybody's got a relationship with somebody. So you're trying to make it balanced so that the show has some continuity to it in some way.
Right.
And so that was a job by itself.
Yes.
And then,
Yes.
yeah. And so the videos, very often, we would shoot videos on the weekends. So during the week, I was doing Video Music Box, and on the weekends, we would have a music video. Maybe we might shoot two, might shoot one on Saturday, might shoot one on Sunday, you know. And that's the way we did it for a very long time. Every day, we for 7 days we were doing something.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
and I tell people too, we were the first, like full-fledged production company. So I remember when Diddy first started Bad Boy, and
Mm-hmm.
he wanted to direct Biggie's first video. Not Juicy. Yeah, Juicy. Yeah, it was. I think no, it was Juicy. One of the first videos for Big, and he needed a production company. So he said, "Rob, can I use your production company because I had insurance and all these other stuff that go along with having a production company?"
Right.
And I was like, "All right, man, be careful. Don't mess my insurance up."
Right, right, right. Don't play with my premiums, okay?
Right.
Right. Right. So that worked out good. That situation worked out.
Yeah, no, it worked out. It worked out. And we were an example to a lot of young directors. I had this kid working with me named Hype. And then, I said, look, he wanted to direct some videos. And it's funny, the
Is that
first
Hype Williams?
Hype Williams, yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. And so, he was working as an intern. I would pick him up, take him to the set with me. And he wanted to do a video. And so I said, all right, I got this group called Strictly Roots. I did a video for them already.
My peoples.
Yeah,
Yes.
and they wanted me, of course, to do the video, and I said I got this kid named Hype, and he's good. Well, Ralph, you killed it on the first one because I think the first one was Beg No Friends
Oh,
featuring Fat
yes.
Joe,
Yes, yes, yes. I
and
saw that
then
video. Right.
they had another video, Duck the Boys in Blue, and I said this Hype is going to do this one. I said, but I'll be around. I'm not gonna be there at all. And so I went, for the first couple of hours just to make sure that everybody was comfortable and Hype was comfortable and the artists were comfortable. And then once it got going, they took off. And so that was Hype's first video that he ever
I
did.
was about to say, did that kind of launch his career? Because he became
Absolutely.
really famous doing videos as well, I
Yeah.
would
No,
always hear
probably,
his name.
yeah, probably one of the greatest hip hop directors of our time.
Right, right.
All the Missy Elliott videos, Busta Rhymes videos, um, just crazy concepts.
Huge,
Kanye,
huge. Yes.
Rihanna, it's crazy.
And Missy Elliott videos were so out there, it was so the imagination definitely had to be great to produce those kind of videos right there. But I
Yeah.
want to go back to the overall theme of your documentary. What is it outside of the people that was like, like you said, international, that didn't get a chance to actually see and know what Video Music Box was really about or get to see it? What was your personal goal that you wanted people to walk away from seeing it? What was the essence of the film that you wanted your viewers to kind of walk away with?
hmm I think the importance of media, especially Black media, to tell our story from an artistic and entertainment standpoint, but also from a social standpoint, the importance of talking about things that were going on in our community. Maybe it's gun violence, maybe it's drug abuse, maybe it's
Mm-hmm.
just whatever is happening in our community at the time. The importance of voting, you
Right,
know,
right,
all of these things that I felt were we could get it in a music video show because people were entertained. They watching the videos, KRS-One is on, and then right behind that, I come on or the artist comes on, and we're talking about something serious because it's like kind of like an extension of the
right.
art that they created,
Mm-hmm,
a little
mm-hmm.
minute or something to get a little positive message,
Right,
message, and you get that in there, and then you go on to the next video. So I wasn't really
right.
teaching it to somebody. I just was trying to get it in there, and so that people could be like, you know what, I like that, and
Mm-hmm,
I think because I grew up, in a place where I was doing like coaching, whatever was going on in the community. Something was going on in the parks. I was helping out.
right,
I was
right.
doing it. Whatever it was, I did that part as well as DJ'd. And plugging into the lampposts back in the days and
You
all that.
did. I used to do that too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's where I came from. Like I was the guy. I knew sound. I knew equipment, and
Right,
and I really loved that part of it. And so coming from that space, I felt like it was for me to be responsible, and I tell that to other people too. I might even mentioned it to you. Let's be responsible.
right,
Because when people are looking at this right here, they're looking, up to people like us. You know,
right,
they
right.
want some people might want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
We have to be responsible and do it in a responsible way.
Right.
There are people that are going to be, on some clown type stuff, which is fine. I'm not saying that don't do that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that if we're presenting in the way we're presenting, see, because the only example I had was like watching Black people on the news
That's it.
when I was a kid, or Soul
Eh,
Train, or something like.
right.
So I just would watch the newsman, the Black news guy, and be like, okay, that's the way you're supposed to
He's
do it.
serious and he's
Right.
standing straight up, like, right, like this.
Right.
So,
Have your facts together,
right, right. Do your research. Make sure that you speak properly, and you have that type of professionalism going on, with your show. And I do remember running home, watching the videos, and also learning about, like you said, things that were going on in the community. Like if someone did get killed, by the cops or anything like that. it was a mention. I saw you have campaigns. I saw you sit down with the youth. Like you was doing something like teen summits and
Right.
talking about different issues on Video Music Box. And it did affect us because I was young and I would listen. And you would also sit down and bring up different topics with your artists. And I'm glad because, like you said, we all need to understand once we hit this mic, once we're standing in front of people, we do have a responsibility in a sense of people that are listening and watching us. So like you said, that may be looking up to us and wanted, or those who may want to do this, because you inspired me as well as so many other people. You know,
Right.
I never even dreamed of doing anything in media until I really got into college. But I had already spent years watching Video Music Box. I had already spent time like meeting people in the industry and
Yeah.
really like falling in love with it behind the scenes. And I was like, I could speak good. I have a good tone. You know what I'm saying? I think I could do this, But it's
Well,
all those elements together
yeah,
that
no, it's
brought the vision to life.
yeah. I mean, you know what it is? It's like I remember when you first told me that you were going to, you were already doing it, but when you told me about what you do with Just Give Me the Mic, and I just like listening to you talk and looking at you, and I was like, she definitely has a personality. I don't know you from a can of paint.
You did. No, you would see me around. I'd be like, hi, Ralph. Hi, Ralph. But we
Yeah,
never got a chance to talk until that
right,
Burn You movement, right?
right. And so I realized that you had a personality that could hold an audience and that there was love in that personality. And that's all that mattered,
Okay.
because sometimes some people overpower the microphone. They want to talk too much. They want to talk over the artist. They want to talk over the crowd. They talking about themselves. Like, we ain't come here to just listen to you talk about yourself, bro or
Right,
sister.
right.
Like
Right.
let the people do what they do, like, and
Let your
you
guests
have
be guests. You know what I
right,
mean? Right.
right, right. So important. But you
And but
had that.
I'm sorry, I cut you up. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I try to, and I learned. Like I said, when you're interested in taking a certain path, you do watch. You do your homework. If you're very serious about, doing that profession the right way, you watch other successful people in that field. So I would watch you. I would watch Oprah. I remember running home watching Sally Jesse Raphael, Phil
Right,
Donahue,
right.
like all of those people together. And then you throw a little mixing of your own personality as well, so
Yeah,
you could be unique with it. You know what I mean? Put your own
absolutely.
spin. So I remember 16 bars, right? We had what, 4 or 5 year run with that,
Yeah.
That was one of the most fun times that I had. And it also taught me how to be a host because everything was basically television based or studio based. And I was just really stepping out in front of a crowd. You
Hmm.
know, so I learned a lot. Like standing next to you, you'd be like, "Yeah, da, 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 da." The energy was so crazy. I think that is the highlight. Outside of, I'm just talking about the
The events.
right,
Yeah.
and just the feel, the atmosphere. No matter what venue we went to,
Yeah.
it was
Well,
hip hop. It
yeah.
was hip hop. You know what I mean?
And the thing is that one thing that I love about you, Coco, is you respected the pioneers and you made them feel welcome. There was no hesitation. You put them right up front, with the new artists and you mixed them up, however they wanted to do it. And I think people appreciated that about you. The pioneers appreciated that because very often, we have Hall of Famers and they come in a club and people don't treat them in no type of way because they just don't know,
Right.
which is crazy to me. And you gave them love right on the mic right before they got there. So they just felt like, oh wow, like somebody acknowledged me. and but you treated the new artists the same way. You showed them the same love.
I
You know,
did.
it's like, don't worry. Like I can remember. Well, they don't. Because I was the one that said you gotta start charging these people. Like
He did. He
you
did.
got to do this because you can't just do this for free your whole life.
Right.
And so sometimes they wouldn't come with the fee, the registration fee, or whatever. Or they might be a little short, and you'd be like, well, I'm all right. Don't let them get in. And I'd be like, all right.
I'd be like, Ralph, can I talk to you over here for a minute? Can I talk to you on the side? Because I was like, my thing is, I appreciate creativity, and I think that if somebody, I feel it's a real gift, and it doesn't equate to you always making it big on the radio. I've heard some really dope underground artists, and I was like, damn, if you could only make that connection, like you would blow. And
Right.
I appreciate everybody's art and everybody's gift or their way of expression. I
Yes.
appreciate it from the top guy to the little guy because I feel that's your unique thing. So my key goal for every 16 bars was to surprise you with a legend.
Right.
A
Right.
legend. That
Right.
that was the top goal. Who's the legend that I'm going to invite that Ralph hasn't seen for years that he
Right.
will be surprised? I'm not even going to tell him who's coming.
Right.
He's going to see where he get in the building. And then the other element was getting the artist in and just trying to match the energies where I felt like everybody would vibe as one.
Mm-hmm.
Once some lights and cameras went on,
Right.
that we all was united under, you know what I'm saying? That
Right.
was the main goal of 16 bars.
And that's not easy, that part right there. Like matching up the right ciphers, the right crew.
Right,
Because
right.
we have like 4 or 5 groups sometimes.
Yeah.
And okay, what 5 are going to go first? What 5 are going to go second? What 5 are going putting the women all together,
Yes.
managing where's the pioneer going to go? How he going to or she going to fit into this scenario? So that is something that people don't have. That's a gift because I'm pretty sure you do that with other things, probably
I
with your
do.
kids.
I do. But I
Yeah.
also learned something about production when I was at BET for a little bit. Because, I
Yes.
interned there with Free and AJ was there. So I got to really see like, oh, okay. And I think, some things just come to you. Like you just got to feel for it. But like I said, I learned so much during those times. And I remember Kev used to look at me like when things may have got a little too wild, Kev give me that look, then I'd be like, okay, bring it down.
Well, see, that's
Bring
the
it
other
down.
part. That's the other part of it is that it's not like we're in a studio. We're at a live club where
Right.
people are drinking and stuff is happening. And so you got two atmospheres. You got the TV part of it, where
Uh-huh.
we're taping the cameras, and then you got just whatever's happening in the space that we're in.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Right.
that could be anything. So
That
that
is true.
most people that I know have difficult in just dealing with the TV part, but you're doing both. So why as soon as the cameras start rolling, you got to go over here and put out a fire over here by the bar,
Right, right.
and
Thank
come back.
God. I think people had enough respect for you not to act up. We probably avoided a
Yeah.
lot of situations because they like Ralph McDaniels is in the building. Like they didn't even know who the guest star person was coming. All they know is Ralph is in the building and we have to show our skills to Ralph. That's it.
Yeah.
So I think that kept a lot of people in line as well. But I just wanted to definitely give a shout out to that segment and working with you on that because I've learned so much from that experience and met some really great people and had the opportunity to highlight some really great talent during that run, So
Yes.
shout out to that. I really enjoyed it. So now the documentary's out.
Yes.
Okay. Or you're on tour now, right? You're here, you sway, you're there. Like, how was all of that for you?
I was up for it. Like I knew it was going to come. The question was Nas going to be, involved in it? Nas was working on an album at the time, so his schedule was a little bit busy. So they were like, okay, Ralph, you out there on your own. So I was like, all right. So every day we would, knocking out 4 or 5 things, and it was like, okay, let's just do it. So we went from podcasts to national broadcasts on NBC, CBS,
Morning
ABC,
show,
morning
evening
show,
show.
right? Breakfast Club, Ebro in the
Right.
morning, you name it, we did it. And
Wow.
and I was like, I have to do this because this is my responsibility
Right.
because this is my story, like I have to get it out there and I have to let people understand why they should watch it. And so, that's, there was no question. I was up for it. I don't give, if it was 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning, I was up talking to somebody in the West Coast, whatever it was, we did it.
That is awesome. So I also remembered in the film you talked about like going to MTV and different networks, right? To try to do your show. And then it seems like they kind of took your idea somewhat and created their own shows.
Yeah.
So how was like I know it's nothing that can be done about that, but how did you feel? Like I know you mentioned it in the film, but because you're expanding, you're known, your show is hot, like
Yeah.
everybody's watching it. What was like the key elements? Did they try to take the total like the ownership away from you? Were they trying to take some credit for your ideas? Like what was it that really didn't mesh where some of those deals couldn't go through?
Well, they didn't try to do anything in it because I went to them first and I said, look, you guys got to do a hip hop show. After I taped the Fresh Fest in 1985 and I went to the Fresh Fest and I saw how diverse the community was. There
Mm-hmm.
was white people there, there was Asian folks there, Latino, black, well, you name it. If you was into hip hop, you was at the Fresh Fest and you knew the words and you had the Adidas on and you had your hat to the back. Everybody looked the same. Didn't matter what color, wherever you was from. And so I said, oh, this is crossed over because up to that point, I had only seen black people enjoying hip hop music.
Okay,
I'd
okay.
never been to, well, once maybe, where I went to downtown Manhattan. And so I saw it in a big, 15,000 people. And I was like, oh, this is crossover. This is popping right now.
Right.
And I took it to MTV and I knew that either they were playing Run DMC or they were getting ready to play Run DMC because I knew Russell.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, look, y'all got to do this hip hop show. My friend, I knew the guy who was just got hired, and he was like, no way, Jose. We're not doing no hip hop show. Middle America is not into that. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I know these guys are on tour. You should do this. And it was just like, for me, a lot of times I've been ahead of the curve. And that happens. Like I see something, and I'm like, because I paid close attention to the underground. I think
Right.
Nas said it. Nas said it in the documentary. He says, "You paid attention to me before I was anybody. You knew who I was, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I heard about you. you know,
Right.
he ain't got no record out. But so anyway, so I have that kind of thing to see something's getting ready to happen, and I feel like I was ahead of the game.
Yeah,
So
I definitely get that from
yeah,
watching your documentary. Definitely
yeah,
ahead of the game.
yeah, because like over the years, people were like, "Oh, they stole your idea," and maybe they did, and but it was going to happen to me regardless. Somehow or another, they were going to have to do a hip hop show because hip hop was too popular by that
It
time.
was too, yeah, the
Rock and roll
demand
was,
for it
yeah,
was too great. Right.
yeah, rock and roll was starting to die out, you know, and something was going to happen. But I had been doing it already, so I figured like, okay, maybe I got a shot. But
Right.
they
I'm
didn't
your
do it.
man. Right.
Yeah, but they didn't do it with me, and it was okay, because I was already doing the videos. Me and Lionel were directing like all of the hottest videos. We were traveling back and forth to LA, to
Wow.
Miami, Chicago, wherever. So we had kind of created our own space. There weren't a lot of people, African American production companies at that
Right.
time, and
Right.
so we knew the importance of that. And so when MT Yo comes around and then BET eventually comes around, we were like, okay, now hip hop has just got more outlets. So
Right.
that's more people can see our videos that we did. You
Right,
know,
right, because if you didn't get them this way, you got them that way, right?
right,
You
right.
was definitely going to be on MTV or whatever, some kind of way. So it worked out for you, you
Yep,
know.
absolutely.
And I like the fact that you held true to your own, and
Yeah.
look at the longevity of the show. Like did you even I mean, it's no way to even fathom that so many years later that people are still I see when you go live on social media, like your numbers, boom, 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 boom. I'll be like, dang, it takes me like 15, 20 minutes to have 40 people on. You know what I mean? I mean, you be up for 5 minutes and it's already in the hundreds. I'm like, wow, what is the magic recipe? But I love it. I love it. I
I think
always felt like people should appreciate those that really laid the groundwork. You know what I mean?
yeah, I think that for me, it's people probably appreciate, especially like if you're come from the old days of hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
You remember when you were a kid. You remember when the first time you first got introduced to hip hop music or to whatever reggae music? Because remember, we didn't just play hip hop. We played
No.
reggae music. We played house music. We played R&B. We had Tasty Tuesdays with the slow jams.
Right,
You
right,
know,
right. I remember sitting with my little boo back in the day on Tuesdays.
you know what I'm
Right.
saying? And so it was a part of your life. And
Right.
and when people watch this documentary, and if you haven't watched it yet, you're
Shame
going to
on
see
you.
your life. You're going to see your life.
Right.
And I had a conversation with so many people that were in tears watching the show. First of all, they felt like, yo, Ralph, you finally got what you deserve.
Right.
Second of all, they felt like, I'm watching my whole life. I got kids. I
Right.
retired. I did all these
Right.
things.
Right.
It didn't seem like that much time went by, but a lot of time went by.
A lot of time. A
And
lot of
people got
time.
really emotional about it because they realized so many things that they did. Like I was there that night when
Right.
such and such was on stage, or I remember that album coming out, or I remember when you used to play that video all the time. All of these things that life just stuff happens,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, and so we have to deal with life stuff, and then our career still kind of goes along. We're doing what we're doing today. I know you're going through a little time right now, and we're doing
Mm-hmm.
what we got to do. You
Right.
know, it
Right.
kind of helps you get through stuff sometimes, right? And so,
Definitely.
we continue to keep doing what we're doing, but sometimes, when you sit back and you look at it, you go like, "Wow, I can't believe how many mics have you held in your hand?
Right.
How many
Right.
clubs that don't even exist anymore have you
Right.
been to? You know,
Right. Right.
so many different scenarios. The music that we listen to today is not the music that we listen to, well, for some of us.
Me, it's not the same. It's definitely not the same. But
Well, old school
yeah,
is back. They say somebody posted up, why is old school music streaming more than the new school music?
because
And
we can understand it. That's number one. We can understand it. I can not, and it's not when you think about the lyrics. It's not even ageism in it. It's just that I can clearly understand what this person is saying, and it's no offense to any new school
yeah,
artist, but it's true. It's true.
yeah.
Half of these words, when you see the song come up and it has the lyrics, I'm like, is that a word? Like, I don't even know what I'm reading on this. No offense again. I'm just saying, I could
No,
understand it, but
it's like sometimes it's just a syllable. Like I'm like, is that a word? Like
right, right. I'm like, he actually said that? Like, I thought he was mumbling. Like, I didn't know he was saying something with that. But
yeah,
like again, I appreciate it.
yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, hip hop has evolved
Yeah.
and it's in the hand of our younger generation now. I hope they understand the responsibility of it. And I can't knock them if they have a couple of songs where they just need to, I guess, express themselves in any way that they can. But, I hope one day the bulb lights up and they like, this happened. Sometimes it takes a tragedy or something, or something close to happen that affects them to make them change their messages in their songs. But
You know
you
what?
know,
What's funny is that me and Lionel, we directed and I produced Self Destruction.
uh huh,
So by the Stop the Violence movement, which was really kind of the idea concept came from KRS-One,
right.
and D Nice produced that record.
Oh wow,
Because D Nice was the DJ for KRS-One at the time.
right at that time, right.
Right. And so you look at the artists that are in that video, right? You got Heavy D, you got KRS-One, you got D Nice, you got
Chuck D,
Chuck
right? Flavor
D,
Flav, all of them was in
Cool
it.
Mo D,
Mm-hmm.
um, Miss Melody,
Right, Miss Melody. That's
um,
right.
MC Light. Um,
Latifah was in it.
no, Latifah wasn't in it.
She wasn't in it.
Yeah,
Okay.
but all of these artists that were the top artists of their particular
Mm-hmm.
era,
Right.
and I was like, could the artists today do something like that? Like, is there a way for that to happen?
And you know what? I think there probably is a way if it would get a lot of play on the radio. I'm not sure because I'm saying I would love for a song like that. We actually need a song like that to come out, but the politics behind was being played on the radio and why. I think
Right.
it's like to have us all in a mind fog and not really look at the real issues.
Right.
But I think that right now our culture should be demanding of a record of that type because too much is still going on. Like self-destruction is still relevant today and even more so today. Even with that song highlighting and what we see every day on the news, it is still a relevant topic that we need to talk about so many years later. That makes no
Yeah.
sense.
Right. The same stuff happening in our community. And so
Right.
that means it's by design to me. And and then put a pandemic on top of it and whatever that is.
Right. Whatever that is. Something we
And
can't see, but it's out there,
right.
right.
And it's like it's a lot. It's a
It's
lot.
a lot. It's a lot.
That's why the mental it's tough. People are being challenged in a big way right now.
Hmm.
People that especially our young people, because I feel like they don't express themselves enough sometimes.
Right.
Um, I mean, you've been in schools and stuff like that.
I
Some of the
teach
kids,
in school, so I
yeah,
know. I'm a teacher
yeah,
right now, so I know I have to push my students to think outside of the box. I really have to. I bring up topics to really make them think and not just about what's happening with them, but what's going on in the world. Because all these things affect you, whether it's knocking on your door. It still affects you if it's in your neighborhood, if it's
hmm
in your community, if
hmm
it's somebody that looks like you. Like these things affect you. Don't just walk past it like, oh, this don't have nothing to do with me. Half of this stuff does. So I
yeah,
try to help them to make a connection. The same way I was bridging hip hop, I'm trying to bridge education with what's going on in the world today. And that's my responsibility that I've taken on
yeah,
outside of what I do, which is give me the mic. You know what I
yeah.
mean? It's very important that that's done.
It's funny. There's a show, Abbott Elementary.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you saw it. It's on ABC. Well, anyway, it's a girl who was popular on either Instagram or TikTok who kind of came up with the idea. And so there's a one scene where they're trying to get this kid to read, but he has to dance in
In
order
order
to
to read.
read.
Oh wow. Hey, make it work anyway. You can make it work. I get that. I get
And so
that.
but the teacher said, "Stop dancing," because she didn't know that. So she was
Oh,
like,
okay.
"Stop dancing," and he said, "I can't read."
I have to dance to read, miss. Like those two go together. And I understand that because you have to give a child options sometimes to even engage them. And I've
Right,
learned that. So what do you like? Okay, you like this? Okay. You may not want to read The Great Gatsby, but you might want to read something about a hip hop artist. The goal is to get them to read. How
right,
the material, you can always pull something out of it where there's a learning lesson out of most things that you pick up in a book and read. There's
right,
always some type of message, or you could design the question. But hey, I get it. I do it all the time.
right,
Whatever it is, to find out what they like and then try to incorporate that into learning.
right.
So, yeah, I do that. So, I want to talk about the campaign for your tapes. You got the
Oh, the
big
collection.
campaign going on now. Well, how is that going?
So the Video Music Box collection we started in 2019, late 2019, going into 2020, and the whole idea was to collect funds. We're a nonprofit, so we could digitize this content. We have all of these old analog tapes that we've had for years. They don't even make the machines that play these tapes anymore.
Right,
So
right.
we had to go out and buy them and find them all around the country, wherever we could find the tapes, so we could play the tapes, then turn them into digital files, then archive them with all of the data that's on those tapes,
Mm,
and then make them available for higher learning educational institutions. So
that's
we're working
awesome.
right
That's
now.
the goal.
Yeah. So like what I started to realize in the last, I don't know, maybe 10 years was that hip hop classes started popping up at different universities like Cornell, Howard University, University of Southern California, all of these
Hmm.
places. And I met some of these people and University of Houston. And I was like, well, who's teaching these classes? And it usually, was somebody that was a white kid who loved hip hop, who grew up and was a
Right.
teacher. And nothing against them, nothing against them. And they were the ones that were teaching the hip hop class. And I was like, well, where are you getting this information from? Like, where's this? Like, how do you know what's real and what's not?
Right. Right.
And, and so I said, okay, wait a minute. We have to do something. Either I have to get my tapes together so that we can use this as presentations in these schools,
Hmm.
or some of the pioneers who not really, they may have retired, they're not doing anything at this moment, they may have more time on their hands, they should be somehow or another teaching or just be guest speakers at some
Right.
of these classes, and I remember I remember, God bless the dead, love Bug Starsky, and I was like, yo, Starsky, you need to do something like that, because he always complained, they don't know this and they don't know that. I said, well, stop complaining and get you a little paragraph or two that you can go into these schools and talk, and then do Q&As with the kids.
Right.
And
Right.
so we did over a video for Love Bug Starsky, You Gotta Believe, featuring B-Fats.
Oh
And
wow. Right.
we did it in the school.
Oh,
And so
you
that,
did.
yeah, it's online. If you look it up, You Gotta Believe by Love Bug Starsky and B-Fats. It was the remake of his original song, You Gotta Believe. And
Okay.
it started in the school. So that was, oh man, it's almost been like almost 10 years now that we did that. And so that idea and that concept was something that I was working on for a while. So now, we get donations, donations come in. People are, oh, well, you can donate now. It's a nonprofit. You get an official 501c3, and you can
Okay.
donate, and you get, your write off. You see our work in action. It's happening. We're doing it. We hope that we'd be doing more events by now, but because of COVID,
Right.
we don't get to do a lot of events outside. But eventually, you will. But I feel like a small part of it you saw in the documentary you're watching, Video Music Box. You saw um, what doing this work, this archiving work,
Hmm.
can do. Because I now had all of these tapes and I had them digitally, I could find stuff that I back in the days. Now I don't have to put the big tape in
Right.
and rewind it. I have
Right.
young people, like, I mean, when I say young, like college graduates that are working with me now doing the archiving. They're looking
Awesome.
at things that I don't see. Like I know, oh, that was at, the Palladium in 1991. But
Uh-huh.
they're looking at like, yo, those were the first time those sneakers came out, and that hat, Gucci remade that hat, and
Oh
they
wow.
see totally different things than what I see.
Wow.
So that data is going to be amazing that we get out of this, and there's some amazing archivists, black folks, young black people that are doing this work and coming up with new ideas and new um ways to flip content you know
That would
um
be awesome. I was thinking about the Universal Hip Hop Museum.
yeah, well, we
Like,
have
say
it
if
right
they
now.
had a theater and they if they I don't know how they're setting up the new location, but just imagine they could use it.
Absolutely. Yeah, they can use it. And I mean, even
Hmm.
now they have a pop-up shop, and I don't know if it's changed yet, but it will be changing soon. But the one where they did 1982 to 1985, they have our content from the Fresh Fest, which happened in 1985.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's there, and people can watch it and see stills of it. Um, and we never got a chance to do a talk about it, because I would love to do a talk about Fresh Fest.
Oh, that
Because,
would be great too. Well, we could do a part two, Ralph, and we could talk about Fresh Fest.
yeah,
But
because
that would
Fresh
be
Fest was
good.
important. Fresh Fest was important because it was kind of like the changing of the guards. Like every 5 years, hip hop kind of changes a little bit. And there's a shot of Grandmaster Caz and DMC and Run, and they're kind of like giving each other dap backstage. And Kaz is more of the old school, or the original school, as people say,
Right.
and Run DMC was that new wave coming in, and their personas look totally different,
Wow.
in that picture,
Wow.
you know.
Right.
And I was like, that was a important moment right there, and people might not have realized it at the time, but Run DMC was the new thing, you know, and
Okay.
not and Kaz always embraces everything.
Oh yeah, he does.
He's
He has evolved with all the changes that has taken place
right,
in hip hop, right?
but not everybody embraces everything,
No,
and some people didn't get past that. They
right.
still stayed at that time pre
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
1985,
Right.
and and that was it tells a story, and I
Yeah.
think these stories are priceless. There are things that I take for granted that I know in my head, and I was there,
Right.
but people want to know, like what actually happened. What happened
Behind the scenes with
with
that.
you,
Right.
right? With you and Jay-Z backstage, Ralph, when
Right.
he was
Right.
doing something, he was not talking, and I've got the mic in his backstage at Summer Jam, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
people want to know what really happened, and I'm like, okay, so this is what really happened. But there
Right.
are
Let me tell
millions.
you a story. Yeah.
But if you go and look it up online, millions of views on that particular clip, hundreds, thousands of comments of what people
Wow.
thought happened at that particular time. I'm like,
And
that's
how many years ago, right?
right.
People are concerned. They want to know.
Well, I tell you what, I got Jay-Z to finally, when I shot the documentary, I said, Jay, you have to tell the people right now why,
Right.
what happened that night. And he
Well,
did it.
what did happen? What did he say? Look,
I
now
can't
I
tell
want to
you.
know what happened.
I can't tell you till I put it out.
Okay, okay. So stay tuned, y'all. It is coming out. So looking back on the doc, I can't believe we talked and the show is almost over. I can't believe I didn't even get to half of the stuff I wanted to talk about. But looking back on the documentary now, is there anything that you wish you would have had added to it or had included in it that didn't get a chance to make it in the cut? Like,
Yeah. So much. My involvement with X Clan,
right.
Sonny Carson is Lumumba's dad, Professor X's father.
Yes.
They were a real grassroots movement in the
Okay.
community that I grew up in. My dad knew Sonny Carson. Sonny Carson, of course, comes from the gang era,
Right.
and and then I started doing all their videos for them, X Clan, and it was a real it was as close as life and art I had ever seen. Like
Wow.
literally, they were doing, serious marches in Brooklyn and protests, and then we were making videos. Like it was all happening in real time at the same time.
Oh
But some
wow.
people were acting like they doing protests, they doing it for the camera.
No, they was really
It was
protesting.
for real doing
Right.
it.
Wow.
That whole section, more of the prison stuff.
Right. Right.
Because we did a lot of stuff in Rikers Island and in Rollway State Prison and in Northern State, which is in Jersey, and
Mm-hmm.
more, like the Corey Wise part
Right.
from the
Right.
Central Park Five, that we really never really got into that part.
Right.
Um,
Because you did full coverage on that, right? You used
yeah,
to
there's a
really
whole
talk about
hour.
that.
Yeah, there's a whole hour of us talking to Corey Wise, and
Wow.
and Corey Wise is maybe in there for like 20 seconds,
Right.
so if
Right.
that
It was.
much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so because these were the things that, to me, I have another friend of mine, Lance Furtado, he's in
Oh
the
yeah. Yeah.
and Lance goes, whenever he's on Video Music Box, he starts getting calls from prison. He says, "You still popular in prison, bro."
Wow.
Like people watch Video Music Box at 12 o'clock at night on a Saturday night or 2
Mm-hmm.
o'clock in the morning. Because
Mm-hmm.
I said, they can have the TV on it that late. He said, "Man, you can do whatever you want to do in prison."
Oh
I said,
wow.
if you
Well, when
got
you're on a certain level, you
right,
know,
you got
right?
it.
When you're at a certain level, you
Right.
know.
Right.
But
Yeah. So that's, so, and that goes a long way because prisons still have a lot of power, and those
right.
people that are in jail and locked up still have a lot to do in their community.
Right.
And if you getting respect in that way and they checking you still good,
Mm-hmm.
because that's
Mm-hmm.
going right back to the street, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that that's a documentary by itself.
Yes, it is. It really is. Yeah.
you know,
You named about 3 or 4 different. Well,
well,
everything you mentioned is its own element, has its own, series or
right.
a session that you can do on that.
That's what Bugsy told me. Bug said, he says, you got like 5 different things happening in this one documentary.
Right.
each one of those things is a documentary by itself.
Right. It's true. It's really true.
Yeah. And I think that's the reason why people told me they've watched the documentary more than once.
I have. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I've
Yeah.
watched. Yeah, I've watched it about 3, 4 times. Because not only for the nostalgia piece of it, but I just felt like you know it really took me back, and it helped me to understand a little bit of who I am because I grew up in that whole
Yeah.
time. Like that was my most important years of
Yes.
life that helped to shape who I am today. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So
And,
I
and
mean,
and people
it was
people should
beautiful.
watch. People should talk to, like, they don't understand how much information you have in your head,
Right.
you know. And
Right.
I'm not saying that we dwell on the past, because I also was a person that always thought about the future.
Hmm.
I'm
Oh,
like,
we see that. We see that.
yeah.
Right.
I mean, now, we talking about NFTs and the Web3 and
Right.
metaverse. And,
Right.
where do we all fit into that? That's
Right.
what we should be thinking about.
We really
You know,
should.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's got to be a Just Give Me the Mic in the metaverse,
Yes. Yes, there
and
should be.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so we still, I don't understand everything about it, but we should be thinking about it.
We should. We
Yeah.
should.
Yeah.
And that was also going to be one of my questions because Video Music Box had to change. You had to go through a lot of evolutions
Mm.
behind the scene. Because how do you stay relevant throughout all those years without making the necessary changes along the way? So I know you had to tweak a lot of things. You might have had to add people, take people away. It's a lot of changes that you had to do for
Yeah.
your show. Shows
Yeah.
don't last that long. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
don't.
I think for me, too, is the right relationships. Like, like sometimes people, like, I'll get something every day about somebody going, "Hey, I feel like you should be on this network. It's like Netflix, get down with us and this." And I'm like, "Well, how do you get paid?" That's
Right.
always my first question. And then, "Oh, don't worry, you just send your content in and then we'll kick you back a check." And I'm like, "I can't do that.
Right.
Like, I can't
Right.
I can't do that." I
Right.
understand there are people that will do that, and
Hmm.
that's fine. But
Right.
for me, I can't do that. And
And
so
what's wrong with coming to you with the right situation? Have everything written down where you can see exactly what's what, that you don't have to guess what's
right.
happening. You know what I'm saying? That's how you approach a real business person. You don't just say, "Oh, just give me what you got and I'll just, send you something later at the end of the month." That's
Right.
not how it works. So,
No, no,
right.
no, no, no. We're not doing that. And that's just not gonna happen. So,
Right.
we continue to keep on doing what we're doing. We make smart decisions
Right.
instead of, emotional. I mean, I'm emotional, so I can't say I don't make emotional, decisions. So I do
Hmm.
things on emotion, but because we're just black people, so we emotional. And
Right.
so,
It's hard to get around that sometimes, you
yeah,
know?
like, I'm feeling that. Let's
Right.
do it.
Right, right, right,
What does
right.
that
We
mean?
do. We do.
What does that mean? I'm feeling
Right. Right. Well, yeah, how do you equate that into,
we
your
got plates
list of
and bills.
happiness? Right.
Right.
Could be ego driven. Who knows? It could be a number of things that come out when it comes to that.
Yeah.
But, you
No.
know, but you also have merchandise. So where can they go to get the merchandise, the sweat
Um,
hoods and everything that you have?
yes, you can go to videomusicbox.com. We have a lot of hoodies. We've been selling out a lot of hoodies since, I'll be honest with you, since the documentary came.
Right,
I
right,
can't keep a hoodie. And they're like,
right.
they're gone already. We just filled it
Right. We
up.
just got them in yesterday,
Right.
like
Which is a great thing. Which is a great
yes,
thing,
it's beautiful.
And so, but we a family business. So my family's like, "Hey, yo, what's up? We ain't signed up for unless we got
Right, right. I think you need to hire some more people. Right. We
right,
need some of them interns to come over here and help pack these boxes, right? I get it. I get it. But it is beautiful. And I love the fact I see your daughter out now and
yes,
she's with you on interviews and everything. And she's just front and center. And I just love it. I love it. So, I just want to I really enjoyed this interview with you today. I mean, I always like talking to you. I remember a couple of times we had conversations on the phone. I may have vented to you about some things, and you like Coco, like you gonna learn, like you're a little new. You gonna get it together. You gonna get it
Yeah.
right. I'm still standing. I'm still smiling. I still enjoy what I do,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't change anything that I'm going through in the
No.
world. Like I love it, love it, love it, and I'm just so happy and proud. Like I was sitting in the theater with tears in my eyes. Like I just thought that premiere experience was just so beautiful. And I'm happy to know you. I'm happy to have had the opportunity to work with you and to just hold the mic and be just like a part of a legacy that I grew up on. I just love it, love it, love it. And I'm just so overwhelmed and happy
Yes.
for all the recognition that you're getting right now for everything. I mean, you've gotten it throughout the years, but 2000, the end when that this is like an
Yeah.
explosion all over again
Yeah.
for
No,
you.
I never had that and it came like, like emotionally, and it was like, whoa.
Right,
I couldn't help
right,
it. Yeah,
right.
it hit me like that because we work all the time. We'll never get paid for the amount of work. Nobody does really, for the amount of work that they put in. And so when you finally can get something to a certain level and it's going to be seen at a certain standard, and you're like, oh wow, this is really about to happen. Like I couldn't, like that first couple of days when the thing came out, I couldn't take the smile off my face. I was like, I am stupid right now.
Right, right, right. Like, oh my God. Like, yes, yes. All the lights in the room was on, right? Like, oh my goodness. And even though you're working along with the process, you're doing the interviews, you're going here, and everything is just building up and becoming one big piece. But it's like, wow, this is it.
This is it.
And you sat in the theater with us. I know you probably seen it, you seen it and you made your editorial
Well,
comments, but
yeah, the theater one was tough because it was out of sync.
right,
When the
right,
theater,
right,
I was dying. I was so pissed off. But that
right.
wasn't our fault. That was something that happened when they sent it over to the movie theater. But yeah, I was definitely
I could tell it was just
happy.
my cheeks was like hurting because I was just
Right.
smiling so much. And I was sitting next to Tony. And then, I had Cena on the other
Mm,
side and we were all like this. We were just like, then we clapping. And then
right.
it's like we were so like all three of us together shared that experience. And I'm
Oh,
like,
nice.
this is dope. You know what I mean?
Mm,
The,
mm, mm,
the,
mm.
the most beautiful thing. So again, I could say it all night, salute to you. I'm just anxious to see what's coming up next for video. I look. We got to look out for that Jay-Z interview, find out what he said 30 years ago. Okay, let me button up your shirt. Well, I need my seatbelt on, y'all.
Ever
I got
since I can remember, I've been popping my collar.
right, right, right. Look, I don't have one, but look, I got my seatbelt on,
That's
and I'm
right.
definitely staying tuned. So make sure you support Video Music Box. Thank you again for joining me. I will see you soon. And it's been a pleasure always. And I am also always for the Boogie Down Bronx rooting for Video Music Box, y'all. So make sure y'all support. Get that merchandise. Place some orders quick. Y'all might have to wait now. I don't know.
That's right.
Before, the orders could go right out. But now y'all have to wait. Y'all might have to wait till the shipment gets in now. The process is not the same. So for those that are not aware, let us know what time and what station to catch the show.
You can watch Video Music Box on NYC TV, which is the New York City TV station, channel 25 or channel 22. Saturdays at 12 midnight, and Thursdays, technically it's Friday morning, at 2:30 a.m. NYC TV. And follow me at Video Music Box so you can find out about all the information, where the program's on, and what are we doing, and all that kind of good stuff. And we're still streaming. You're watching Video Music Box on at Showtime.
Yes, make sure you go catch that on Showtime right now. Minimum watch is 3 times. Okay,
Word.
it's one of the most watched shows on
Yeah.
Showtime at this time. So make sure y'all go check that out and support, right? And give Ralph a nice little shout out. Go on the page and tell him what you like about it and all that good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right, y'all. So we're at the end of the show. I hope you enjoyed. And make sure you check out Just Give Me the Mic every Sunday nights at 10 p.m. on channel 68. And also on MNN2 on Sundays at 8 p.m. And follow me video music. I said video music box. Lord, just give me the mic on all social media platforms and Debra CoCo, y'all. And I will see you soon. And make sure you support Video Music Box. Yes, it is live and still going down, y'all. Have a good night.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
So, Ralph, how was that? Did we cover everything?
Yeah. I thought that was awesome.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah, that was good.
you.
Yeah.
Really good.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Yes. So this is how I'm doing the show now. So what happens is we went a little bit over, but I could not stop the conversation. Okay, I had to let us finish our thoughts out.
Yeah, I saw the comments of the.
Yeah. I wasn't ready. I'm still not ready. I still got more, but I had to let it go.
Yeah.
Okay. I had to let it go. But when so they'll send me the link and then I will post it on YouTube and I can send you the link and I'll let you know when it's going to air on television.
Okay, cool.
All right. Thank you, Ralph. I appreciate you.
All right. Thank you, Nicholas and Ian. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Ralph.
you. Thank you for everything.
Look, they enjoyed. Look, Ian looked like he had a.
Well, I grew up on Video Music Box, so I know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not. You said Beg No Friends. I was like, wow, I was a teenager when that came. Yeah.
I need to watch that documentary.
Yeah,
really
I need to.
Away.
Yeah,
Yes.
I literally just got Showtime last week.
Oh, okay. Yeah, watch it.
So yeah, that's the first on my list.
Yes. All right.
All right,
guys. Good night.
All right.
Excuse me, Deborah.
Uh-huh.
Quick question before you leave. I was just wondering, would you be interested in recording briefly a 15-second or 30-second promo for your show?
Oh yeah, let's do. Yeah, of course.
Okay. We can do that right now. I have like your lower third. I have for the host. I also have let me see the channels for Optimum and Fios that they air, and I also have the day and the time for Sundays 10 p.m.
Okay. Yeah, thank
Um,
you. I probably need a promo. I never had a promo up.
yeah, we're more than happy to help with that right now. So if anything, yeah, well, we can keep it. Would you prefer a 15 seconds or a 30-second?
I don't know. Like, you just want me to do something like my intro. Hi, this is your girl Debra CoCo. Make sure you check me out every Sunday nights at 10 p.m. on Bronson Channel 68 and on Fios. What is the number for Fios? 2134. Is that what it said?
2134.
Yeah,
Let me just verify on my.
Yeah, I'm like, woo! I didn't even know they had that many stations. That many channels. 2134. Okay.
Yeah. It's channel 68 on Optimum and 2134 for Fios.
Okay, I better take a picture of that. Put it
up. But yeah, we could just keep it like, very straightforward, straightforward. Like, you introduce yourself.
I'm gonna be like, if you don't know about Just Give Me the Mic, we I give them like a little small synopsis.
A very small synopsis.
Right.
And then you get to mention like the day and the time and the channel. Just
okay.
Yeah,
I would love to.
Let's see. So if anything, Deborah, what I can do is I could give you a few seconds. I can start with the 30-second countdown timer, just to give you a few seconds to get psyched for it.
Okay. Oh, you want a high energy? I could do that.
Yeah. I'll give you like a nice little countdown timer.
So okay.
Okay. Showtime.
Okay.
Let me see. So I'm gonna remove myself and then with Ian from the stream, and we'll start momentarily.
Hi, everybody. This is the host of Just Give Me the Mic. My name is Debra CoCo. And make sure you check out Just Give Me the Mic every Sunday night, y'all, at 10 p.m. Optimum is on channel 68. And if you're on Fios, you can catch us on channel 2134. That's right, 2134. And if you don't know about Just Give Me the Mic, it is a variety show where I interview positive people within our communities that are doing positive things. So you never know who's going to be a guest on Just Give Me the Mic. So you have to tune in. Again, please join us on Sundays and see what we're all about. And again, my name is Debra CoCo. I am the host of Just Give Me the Mic. Wait, oh, you know what? I can't hear you.
My apologies. My bad. My mic was muted. That was very good, Deborah. But I think we might have just went a few seconds over
Oh,
because
okay.
let's see.
What part did I go over?
It either has to be a 15-second promo or a 30-second, and it looks like it might be going for a 30-second promo. Oh, are you there? Okay? They screen for
Yeah, it looked like it, right? All right. So, where's the time? I have to. Okay, I look at the time. Maybe I should do it on my phone. Can I do it? I can time myself.
Yes,
right?
if you have a timer set on your end, that would be good as well.
Let me see.
If anything, Deborah, I can start. I could go to the bars, and then when I remove the bars, you can start.
Okay. So I'm gonna put it on for 30. Oh no, it's on minutes. Let me put it on seconds. I would have been talking forever.
So I got a timer set on my end too, Ian, for 30
Okay.
seconds.
So let me know when you're ready.
Okay. I'll start right from the top. So I'm gonna put the bars up, and
so after the bars go away, then I press it, right?
Yes.
Okay. Wait, I'm not hearing anything. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Deborah. Can you hear us?
You know what? The last time it played, it gave me the music. I didn't know if it actually. Just do it one more time. I'm sorry. I usually I saw the mute. I heard the dun, 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 dun,
Oh
dun,
no, because I was saying that I was gonna skip the 30-second timer and just go right for and I'm gonna just start with the bars to make it easier. So I was gonna go to the bars for like maybe 5 seconds.
Okay.
And then I'll
so
come
as soon as
straight
I
to
see
you.
myself,
Exactly.
I didn't know when to start the timer. I didn't want to be reaching over while.
No problem, Deborah.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Debra CoCo, the host of Just Give Me the Mic. Make sure you check out Just Give Me the Mic every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Optimum channel 68 and Fios channel 2134. Now, if you don't know about Just Give Me the Mic, we are a variety show that promote a lot of positive people in our community. So you never know who's going to be on the show. So you have to tune in to find out. Again, my name is Debra CoCo, and I'm the host of Just Give Me the Mic. Tune in.
Okay, that was great, Deborah. We just went 2 seconds over.
Well, you can take out the tune in if you need to.
Does that work for you, Ian, or would you like to do one more? Okay, if we take out the tune in, that'll make 30 seconds.
Exactly. Yeah, that should.
Okay, so we'll do that then, Deborah.
Okay. Thank you. I enjoyed today's